Breaking tonight, a Catholic priest and the former vice president are both speaking out about the controversy over Holy Communion. The priest refusing the holy rite to Joe Biden. Chief Religion correspondent Lauren Green is following the latest developments for us tonight. Lauren.
Vice President Joe Biden is not the first pro-choice Catholic politician to be denied communion. But right now, he's the most prominent as the frontrunner for the Democratic presidential nomination. On Sunday, Biden attended a Catholic Mass in Florence, South Carolina, where the priest refused to let him receive Holy Communion because of Biden's support for abortion. Communion is a sacrament central to Catholicism. In a statement, the Reverend Robert E. Morey said, in part, any public figure who advocates for abortion places himself or herself outside of church teaching. I will keep Mr. Biden in my prayers. Biden was asked about it during a phone interview today. He said it's personal, but defended himself as a good Catholic.
I've never let my religious beliefs, which I accept based on church doctrine, they call it de fide doctrine, to impose that view on other people.
Biden's position on abortion has moved further left, pundits say, to be in step with other Democratic presidential hopefuls who haven't been shy about invoking God on the campaign trail. Mayor Pete Buttigieg, who is not Catholic, sparked controversy back in September when he said in defense of abortion that the Bible supports life beginning with a breath. Some say that kind of appeal to faith voters may backfire.
These Democratic candidates realize that faith voters are a significant bloc, so they want to get some of those voters. But again, they run up against this big contradiction. And what we as people in the church want to know, what do you really believe, and are you willing to stick up for it?
The priest who denied Biden communion cited church law, but other church leaders have said that denying communion is counterproductive because it doesn't change anyone's mind. Shannon.
All right, Lauren Green, thank you. So, did the priest or did he not have a choice? Let's talk about it with radio host Ethan Behrman and Fox News contributor Jonathan Morris. They join us to discuss. Great to have you both, gentlemen.
Thank you. Hi, Shannon.
Okay, so you heard from both sides there. We'll expand these out a little bit more from Lauren's reporting, but the former vice president there saying, I've never let my religious beliefs, which I accept based on church doctrine, I never allow myself to use that doctrine to impose my views on other people. So, Jonathan, if that's the case, then how can he be denied the right for trying to live a separate public and private life?
Okay, well, the whole premise of, like, these are my personal views, but I'm going to do something else as a legislator just doesn't make sense. We elect people because we say we want you to vote based on your conscience and on your good judgment. And in this case, Vice President Biden is saying, I don't believe in what I'm voting for. I just don't understand it. And that's where the conflict comes in.
Yeah, and so the priest here who said that he was sad that he had to do this.
Yeah. That it was based on canon law.
Yeah,
he acted based on canon law. That's what priests are supposed to do.
Yeah.
Based on current canon law. Maybe Pope Francis, who I don't think would do what this priest did, but then he should change. Pope Francis should change canon law. This priest did what canon law, which is church law, says that they're supposed to do.
Okay, so this is what the priest said. Any public figure who advocates for abortion places himself or herself outside of church teaching. As a priest, it is my responsibility to minister to those souls entrusted to my care, and I must do so even in the most difficult situations. I will keep Mr. Biden in my prayers. So Ethan, he says, basically, I didn't have a choice.
Yeah, I totally disagree, obviously, because the Bible actually sets that precedent. First things first, though, is the Reverend doesn't know what's in Vice President Biden's heart. How dare he, as a mortal man, judge what is in his heart and his relationship with God, his being Joe Biden. Furthermore, we have pericope adulterae, where Jesus himself in the Gospel of John didn't turn away the prostitute who was brought to him. He actually said, go and sin no more. He didn't judge her. He didn't judge people for what they're doing. He said, I am open. I am here to accept you. And the Catholic Church is suffering. Attendance on Sundays is down 50% over the last 60 years, according to Gallup. And it's because of this kind of judgmentalism that people don't want to put up with. It's on one topic you'll judge harshly, but we're going to let you idolize the NFL on Sunday instead and not keep the Sabbath, but that's okay. I just really disagree with that.
Okay, so a number of priests have publicly weighed in. So let me read one from James Martin, a Jesuit priest, tweeting this out, saying, denying communion to politicians, Democrat or Republican, is a bad idea. If you deny the sacrament to those who support abortion, then you must also deny it to those who support the death penalty. How about those who don't help the poor? How about Laudato Si? Where does it end? And Jonathan, forgive me if I butchered that pronunciation.
No, you did it well. That was good Latin for you. Excellent, Shannon. But you know what I would say to my fellow guest here, it's not about judging Joe Biden's heart. Joe Biden has revealed his heart. He has said publicly, I am a proponent of legislation that promotes abortion. That's not judging it. So in other words, it's not saying, you know, I'm not exactly sure what's in your heart. No, he's saying, not only am I in favor of abortion on demand, he's even said just recently, and this is a change in his policy, I'm against the Hyde Amendment. Right? In other words, he's saying, I'm in favor of U.S. government tax dollars going towards abortions overseas. So this is not about judging his heart. It's about actually listening to what he says.
Okay,
and I would say to Joe Biden, I'm so glad you're going to Mass on Sunday. Awesome. But either allow the church to change your view and be honest about it, or else find another church. And I'm okay with that.
Okay, quick final word, Ethan. Close this out.
Yeah, and maybe Vice President Joe Biden should go find another church where they have open communion and they're not harshly judging people who come to the church to find saving grace in Jesus. He maybe should be doing that because that's what's happening with the Catholic Church. And I find that terribly disappointing to be so judgmental like that toward people who are coming to find a savior in Jesus, and to turn them away like that, I think is just terrible and wrong, and it's not good for the church, and it's not good for people who are trying to find goodness in the world and through God.
The church is for sinners. It's a place for us to all get healed, but we have to just be honest about what we believe.
Okay, thank you both. And you both are very deep believers, and we appreciate your passionate views on both sides. Ethan and Jonathan, thank you both.
Thanks, Shannon.